Hello and welcome to another Starcraft 2 beta gameplay commentary. My name is Witty and I'm bringing you a 1v1 game on the map Lost Temple. It's between myself as Protoss and my enemy called Ronag, and he is Protoss as well. I'm going to slow the game back down a bit. Now it's hit the 2-minute mark. As you can see, he's gone for his gateway, I've gone for my gateway. We've both got basically identical builds at this point, except that I have a bit more closer to my ramp. This is a very good build, you'll see it later on. It's not so effective against Protoss, but against Zerg it's very, very good. So I'll show you that a bit later, but I saw it from another replay, and it's proved to be very effective blocking having a little single pathway basically down here, but you'll see that again later. So as you can see, the play is rather similar at the moment from both sides. So he's off to scout. He doesn't know where I am just yet. I've gone for an earlier scout, which I usually do after I build the first pylon. It's worth it, to be honest. You could put him back on the minerals and get that bit more minerals, but it's so crucial to see what the enemy are doing in this game. So I'd much rather see what my enemy are doing and try and counter to that. Here he goes for a little block on my probe as I'm not looking. This is not quite good enough though, because I can just about sneak out, thankfully for that, otherwise that would be a bit embarrassing. So he's getting his first cellar. He's got a second gateway as well. I've opted for the cybernetics core because what I've got here is a little probe. Watch this. As he comes up the ramp, got my probe here, I know he's coming. Start attacking him to make sure that I don't lose my probe in case he did decide to attack me right at the start. And he cannot get in if you block it like this. This is very effective against Zerg and less effective against the other players, but it's still nice to do. So I've gone for a second gateway since I'll be wanting to get myself a warp gate. So I figure I'll need a lot of gateways anyway. I'm going to be going for stalkers. He's going to get himself an expansion. Looks like it anyway. Yep, there it goes. Otherwise it's a bit odd to have a little probe there just sitting there the whole time. So he's just pumping away zealots at the moment. Not too much is happening, so I'll speed the gameplay up again. See, my second gateway is down. I just send off a little probe just to see what he's up to. He's sending another probe again. Oh wait, that's me, sorry. Whoops. There we go. I put a pylon here. The reason why I put it over this place is because of warping. So I can warp in units. It's less easy to see that pylon if they're coming this way to attack me. But I can still warp in units at this point here. So I can get them closer than having to warp them close inside my base. Eventually I want to get like pylons all over the map really, if you can. If you're going to use warping, hopefully without your enemies seeing it. So I've got my stalkers here. I'm going to try and do a bit of hit and run if I can. Pretty sure that earlier I found out that he had that expansion, and if I haven't, then I'm about to. Yep, here at this moment I see, so I'm going to get myself an expansion as well. Whilst he's got the upper hand here, because he's got that expansion, he's managing to hold me off. I've gone for more of a tech route, whereas he's gone for a heavy army and expansion route. I feel that the game isn't quite over just yet, because as long as I can get my expansion up, then we're going to be even. I'll be slightly behind, but we'll still be even. To a degree. So as we can see, I've only got 7 stalkers, he's got 7 zealots and 3 stalkers, so the army wise pretty similar. Yeah, I've got a few more stalkers. I want to do a bit more hit and run. Got a bit more stalkers than him. I need slightly more though. And I can do more hit and run. I built 2 probes here so I can warp in units, hence the sentries. One thing I'll just show you if it's still teching. There we go, I'm starting to tech hallucination. Now hallucination is an interesting ability. It's an ability that the sentries have. I'll read it out. Creates hallucinations that cannot deal damage and die more easily. Hallucinations last 60 seconds. Enemy detectors reveal hallucinations. So basically what it means is it creates a mirror image or a copy of another unit. It's very effective actually. It's something I've been practicing with. I'm certainly not used to using it, and I definitely need to play around with it a lot more. The same with gateways, warp gates rather, because I really need to work out where I stand with that and how to use it a lot more efficiently. He's going for a little scout here. I guess he thinks that I've got an expansion up there, which I don't. He should really use a probe for that, so doesn't matter too much because he's got enough of an army to defend this part anyway, but I would personally only use a probe. Not sure what those 4 zealots are sitting there for, but who knows. So anyway, the sentry, the hallucination ability, very effective like I was saying. It actually allows you to copy or create clones of units that you don't even currently have. For example, once I've researched it, which shouldn't be too long now. Where is it? I think it's yeah. I have actually got it. I've just got to wait until 100 energy. There you go. Here we can see. He's made a mistake there. He should have just had a little bit more of a scout, because that's pulled him in. Yeah, he gets my pylon, but I get his spore seller, so it's looking good for me now. I've sort of caught up on him again since losing out on that fast expansion. So yeah, it's a bit of a sit-in base going on here. He's got himself lots of robotic facilities. I should have scattered this. Now this is something I'm trying to train myself to do. Is the first thing I should be building with a robotics facility is an observer. The first thing I should be doing it, once that observer gets built, is sending it to the enemy base. It's so crucial to scout and know what your enemy are doing. If I did that earlier, I would have thought, wow, 3 robotic facilities, it's a bit overkill, isn't it? Only 2 warp gates, whereas look at me, I've got like 4 warp gates and 1 robotics facility. Got myself a robotics bay there, so I can build myself Colossus, which is a really good unit. And I decided to use the chrono boost on that as much as possible to try and get that Colossus out fast, because otherwise it takes like 2 minutes to build. No, sorry, a minute and 15 seconds to build, which is quite considerably longer compared to like an Immortal, which is 40 seconds to build. Anyway, yeah, as I was about to show you, I keep doing that, tracking off, got to train myself better. But hallucination, here we can see, you can either create, for 100 energy, you can create 4 probes, or 2 zealots, or 2 stalkers, or 1 immortal, or 2 high templars, or 1 archon, or 1 void ray, or 1 phoenix, or 1 warp prism, or 1 colossus. So there it is. And yeah, it's really, really good. I mean, I'm still toying around with it at the moment, and you'll see I could have used it better, to be honest, but I'm gonna hold out on saying what happens. But yeah, I've got a lot of my sentries up to like almost 200 energy each, so that's at least two lots of hallucinations on any unit I decide to pick. Usually the best one to do is probably Archon, because it's like 350 health. Although the hallucinations take like extra damage, I haven't worked out how much that is. They probably last half. Even though it says they got 350 health, for example, they probably only got like, you know, half of that, like 175. So yeah, it's a bit hit and miss really. It's still worth it though. I think it depends. It really depends. This is why I'm really toying around with using it at the moment, because here we go. I haven't worked out whether it's truly worth it. Look, I just go nuts. I mean, this was a silly thing to do, hence the little funny mark there. But yeah, I've gone for an insane amount of Colossus to sort of be a bit of a meat shield there. And I really shouldn't have. I should have picked a better composition there. So that was crazy. He's actually got himself a lot of Colossus, and he's got himself probably a better position than me, since there's Colossus around there behind the cliffs slightly, so I can't really get at those. And unit-wise, I think it's going alright, but he's actually starting to get even more Colossus out. So really, he's got all of his Colossus left, and I've only got my Colossus. So it's his 6 Colossus versus my 2. So yeah, at that point, I'd be honest, I actually thought I had the game. That's why I went a bit silly on the hallucination. That was totally my fault, and you live and learn. But I thought, you know, I've got a good advantage now. I'm pretty sure I can take him. Very cocky of me. Too early in the day, really, to have played enough games to really know my place. I haven't lost enough games yet today. So once I lose enough games, and I start getting all sulky and, yeah, less cocky.